The STB-1 is a Japanese Tier 10 medium tank. In the early 1960s, Mitsubishi started development of a new tank that complied with the government's requirements for armament and defense. The first two prototypes of the STB-1 were manufactured in September 1969 for the trials. In 1970, the prototypes were shown to journalists and participated in military parade. The STB-1 marks the end of the Japanese medium line, but let's see how it fares in some gameplay. Hello guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks Ace Tanker series. As you can see, today we'll be once again driving on the beautiful Paris map, and we are going to be taking a look at the STB-1. As you can see, this time driving the STB-1 is brankomadza, and well, yeah, we are going to see how you should drive your medium tanks and the positioning of the medium tanks, as you can see on the A, B and C line. So we had in the previous video, it was the 113, and we saw how you fight with your heavy tanks on the lower part, but now as you can see, all of the mediums and all of the heavy tanks are going to this position, and they're just spreading out on a couple of keynotes here. So you can see where the heavy tanks are. That's a good position to, well, have the shots from the sides on the tanks that are trying to cross over there. The tank destroyers are located on the A1, and there is also one batchet there. And well, the medium tanks usually like to go to this heavy bush line here, as you can see, and from this position they are trying to spot on the enemy tanks and try and pop a shot or two onto them. So one thing to note in this position where brankomadza is that you have to be pretty careful, because if you fire your gun from this position, you are going to get spotted. No matter what you do, you're going to get spotted if you fire your gun from the bush. As you can, well, as you know, the main thing to know about the bush tactics is that you have to be 15 meters behind the bush when you're firing, so that the bush doesn't become transparent. So yeah, you can see that there is more friendly tanks here on this side, so you would expect that it is quite easy to just finish off this side from the enemy tanks and, well, do a great job here and, well, win from this side, flank the enemies in the base and in the city. But as you can see, it is a pretty open space there, so there are not a lot of ways that you can approach those enemy tanks. So one of those ways being the A line, where you can see the object 430 just trying to battle from that position. But still, when you're trying to go to that position, you have to be really careful not to get shot by the enemy tanks when you are trying to cross, as it happens to the C-50. He was caught out of position there and he got spotted and destroyed basically in a couple of seconds. Now brankomadza is playing pretty nicely here. He is using the STB-1 pretty nicely, so he is spotted. He waits for a couple of seconds, so I believe it's 10 seconds before you get unspotted from the minimap. Then he pops back into the bushes and just stays there until he finds another shot on the enemy tanks. Now, as you can see here, the positioning of his team is not that great, so the enemies have them surrounded. To be fair, it is still the same result. As you can see now, just enemies have pulled one score through. But yeah, they're still defending here, but that's a problem. They are being flanked here by the heavy tanks from the 1 and 2 line, and they have the medium tanks in front of them. Really, they cannot do much here from this position. They cannot go towards the medium tanks and the tank destroyers. As you can see, there is a yak target there, and they cannot do anything against those heavy tanks. They have to push one side, and brankomadza notices this and just decides to take the matters into his own hands. So he is going to be pushing on the one line. There is a little dip there, which you are going to see here. So as you can see, the friendly base is pretty elevated here, so there is a possibility for the STB-1 to just use this ridgeline and fight off against the enemy tanks, and STB-1 is probably one of the best tanks to do this. So it's a devastating 105mm gun, which basically just goes through everything. He was unfortunate here to finish off that E5, but the gun is pretty great. So yeah, the penetration is great, but the accuracy on the STB-1 is not that great. So you have to mind that when you are fighting on long ranges. But you saw there a pretty nice shot on the E5, one of them penetrated, one of them didn't, and now out aiming on the Batchat, that's a problem when you are driving not the STB, but driving any tank and you're trying to shoot a fast moving target. You have to know your tank, and you have to know that even the APCR with great speed on the APCR is not going to, well, hit that target because it's moving too fast. So it was at about 200 or 300 meters, and well, auto aim there really didn't help. Now as you can see, he's loading heat, so he shouldn't be loading heat for the Batchat. I believe that he was loading heat for the E5, and just when he finished E5 he didn't shoot hit the one button to get the APCR back. But yeah, he was out aiming here on the Batchat. As I said, a fast moving target like a Batchat, really not able to hit him on the move, and the second shot there just wasn't accurate enough. The STB 0.36 accuracy really really didn't pay off there. So you have to, that's one of the things that you have to be careful about, and well, you have to just try and use the gun to the fullest whenever you can, and that's from medium to close ranges with the, well, trying to use the ridgeline to hide your lower plate. Now he was in a problem here with the Batchat, but as you saw there, the Batchat managed to bounce 2 shells. If he did hit those 2 shells, he would probably kill the STB-1. But yeah, fortunate for brankomadza, for the Batchat really didn't aim there, and he was able to, well, not to kill him. So still shooting gold here. This is going to be expensive at the end probably, because yeah, I believe he fired 8 shells, and I think that he is just now realizing that he is firing the gold shells. So expect to see a loss probably at the end of the game. He has to repair the tank, he has to, well, resupply these gold shells, and yeah, that's something that you have to be really careful, not just in an STB-1, but in every tank. Now as you can see, the situation is, well, 4 versus 4. The friendly team has the 100, they have the TVP and STB-1, so more tier 10 tanks. The enemies have a couple of tier 9s and 1 tier 8, so yeah, the friendlies have the opportunity here to win this one. What brankomadza is doing here now is trying to, well, just find a couple of easy shots on the enemy team, maybe from the side, maybe go for some flanking here, but he has to be really careful. We don't know where the IS-3 is, he is not spotted, so if he jumps in front of Branko, he can shave off, well, he can bring him down to 1 shot, which is not that great. Now trying to find the shots here on the Type 61, but as you can see there is a well, I want to call it a gap here in between these buildings. Actually it's a pretty nice position if you want to flank on the enemy team, because you have the spots on the enemy team, and I believe you can get your tank into a hull down, especially if you are in a Russian medium. But the enemy is turning this around. As you can see, there is only STB-1 left and the 100. So yeah, Branko needs to do something here. He cannot let that E100 fight off with the enemies all by himself, so he should be flanking the enemies, and he is doing just that. I believe that he is thinking about going into the cap here, but that would be a mistake in this point, because if he goes into the cap, the enemies will know where he is, and well, they will come back and fight with him and probably finish him off, because there's a Waffenträger, there's the Egg Tiger, so if any of those hit him and high roll, they can even kill him. So this is a pretty nice position from this side when you're fighting on the ABC lines. You saw there that he had the shot on the Waffenträger Panzerfear, and the Waffenträger was aiming here as he was expecting Branko to come from the back. So only way that he could have known that he is coming from the back is, well, if he has the destruction mode, in my opinion, because there is no way that he can know that the STB-1 is coming from behind. Now I like what he is doing here now. As you can see, he is forcing the enemy team to pull back, and you can see that the ENG is in a perfect position to stop them if they try and force their move on to the STB-1. Pretty nice spot there on the Waffenträger Panzerfear. One shot into the Waffenträger, and well, he got spotted there, but there is nothing to return fire on him. There's the IS-3, so he needs to be careful here. As you can see, a good cupola on the STB-1 bounces the shot of the IS-3. Now he has another shot on the IS-3, but this one didn't penetrate through the cupola. So at this point, well, probably the best thing for him to do is just try and avoid the shell from the IS-3, but he's backing off and he allowed the IS-3 to pop up and put a shot into him. What he should have done here is probably just hug the building where the IS-3 was, not only hug the building from the other corner, so the IS-3 wouldn't come out and, well, he would try and expose his tracks towards the STB-1. As you saw there, the E100, no fear whatsoever against the IS-3, he just went out and put one into the E100. Now this is something that actually we saw a couple of times in the game. Well, not in this game, but in the previous games. Well, I believe it was brankomadza who invited the E100 to join him in a platoon, as if the E100 accepts this one, they are going to get the medals. So is it crucial contribution, or I just can't remember. But one of those pretty nice medals for teamwork. Now you saw a pretty nice shot there from the 100 towards the Egg Tiger. Really, brankomadza should be in a position from here to just put a shot into the Egg Tiger in the side. Probably, let's just see where the Egg Tiger is. He should be facing the 100 still. Yeah, there's the Egg Tiger, not looking this way. Shot on the move, and that's a 5th kill. That's a GG, and let's take a look at the post-game stats. As we can see here, brankomadza had a decent game. He showed off the abilities of the STB-1, got a couple of medals like Hand of God, Bruiser, Duelist, Fighter, Fire for Effect, and of course the Master Badge Ace Tanker. On the team score sheet we can see that he finished first with 1212 experience, 5 kills and 4837 damage. The 100 also did a great job there, 5000 damage and 4 kills. On the detailed report we can see that he fired 21 shots, of which 17 hit the target and 15 penetrated. And I was talking about those premium shells that he was firing. As you can see here, with the standard account he lost 34,000 credits, which is pretty bad, and you have to be pretty careful when firing all those premiums. So at the end, as always, we are going to take a look what we saw in this replay now. We saw the Paris map from a different angle, so from the angle of a medium tank. Showed off a couple of positions from which you can fight off with the medium tanks. The main thing when fighting on the top of the map is just try and provide vision for your friendly tanks, so the tank destroyers, and in this case heavy tanks that pushed up. Branko did a pretty nice job there, popping up into a bush, firing and then popping back out. He extended the vision for the friendly team, and when he saw that the base was in danger, he went back and cleared off that side. Pretty nice gameplay by him. As always, if you liked the video, leave a like or leave a dislike if you didn't like the video. Leave your comments what you think about the medium gameplay here, or what you think about the Paris map. Also, if you don't know what to watch next, you can watch the previous video in the 113, also on this map, but we are taking a look at the heavy side. And when you are done doing all that stuff, you can just subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Hope you guys like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.